everyone, I thought I would try something a little bit different tonight. I've made some videos getting ready with me for different things, but it's 11:30 at night, so I thought why not get unready with me, and we can chat a little bit about how I found a dog on the side of the highway and basically Polo's rescue story and how he came to be. But first, I need to change into something a little bit more comfortable, so PJs, here we come. Much better, so let's dive right into it. Starting off, brushing my teeth. But my dog Polo, that you probably know from this page, it's actually kind of his page technically, but I've taken over, was a unexpected rescue dog that came into our lives when I found him on the side of the highway one night. And to have the tiny version, but starting off with some makeup removing balm. So basically, I found Polo because I went to the university that I graduated from to visit some friends that were going to school there for the big homecoming weekend. It was a huge thing, big football game. People would come in from all over, and everything was going pretty normal. We got dressed up and we're headed out to dinner. Basically, this is a pretty small town, so we ended up having a long wait to get in to where we wanted to go for dinner. I forget now exactly, but it was like 2 or 3 hour wait. So we were kind of just killing time. And I remember hearing someone say, "Is that a dog?" And obviously I'm a crazy dog person, so I hear the word dog and my ears perk up instantly. And basically I looked over, sorry, actually washing my face here, so sorry for the background noise. But basically I looked over and saw this brown and white pitty on the other side of the highway. I said something like, "Should I go get it?" and did not wait for a response or anything. Basically, what I remember next is being across the highway, looking eye to eye at this strange dog that I didn't know, who was maybe 15 feet away from me. And at that point, my number one concern was that I was going to scare him into oncoming traffic, as cars were going by right there, 60 plus miles an hour. And I just thought, what if I scare him and he runs into it and then I watch him get hit by a car, and I ended up making this situation so much worse. So I didn't really know what to do. I kind of just randomly thought to grab out an empty gum packet that I had in my purse and to kind of crumble it and make noise like I had a treat to see if that would work. And I was calling him like, "Here, come here, buddy," you know, but very high-pitched, obnoxious, crazy, and tried to just have him come to me rather than to go after him and potentially scare him. And it's no surprise, knowing Polo and his personality now, that he came right to me because his two favorite things are food and attention, so he thought he was getting both. I think I really even had a chance to pet him or anything. As soon as he came to me, I kind of just scooped him up. I didn't want to lose him. And that's definitely not something that I would recommend you do with a dog that you have known for all of 2 seconds. But I just felt like I didn't have any other options, and for me, it was worth the risk. Next up, this is also mini size. I buy too many things in mini size and then I end up with a bunch of them to use up because I travel a lot, but I don't know. Anyways, this is from Tatcha. I love everything from Tatcha, from their Dewy line. This is a cleanser. And I know he is in my arms and we are crossing back over the highway, just holding him like this, which I have a video of, I'll show here. That if you're familiar with our page, you've probably seen this video before. I crossed back over with him. He gave me some kisses. He already seemed grateful, I like to think, and knew that better things were ahead. I made a leash out of my purse, which a lot of people think is really funny. It is. Had to get resourceful, you know, I didn't have much to work with, and I really did not want to lose this dog because now I was just on the other side of the highway. We weren't away from that. Difficult to figure out what to do with him. I ended up just driving him to a friend's house and hoping that they were home because they were answering their phones, and that's where the videos come in of Polo asleep, getting his first good sleep, even though there is big, loud, crazy music playing in the background and people yelling, because sorry for some, the party went on, the whole college wasn't going to shut down, and I'll tend to this dog, which some people on the internet tend to think. They were nice enough to let him stay there and have somewhere safe so he didn't have to sleep outside, and that's really all I could ask. The videos of him sleeping, he did not seem bothered even the slightest bit by the noise, so he was fine. So basically, he stayed there the night, and me and my mom spent the whole next day calling boarding facilities, calling anywhere that we could find. My mom still has the paper to this day of all the different places, like 30 to 50 different places that we called, and we couldn't find anywhere. And ultimately, we had him scanned for a chip at the local shelter because he needed to have that done for anywhere to take him in. We did that. He went to the shelter and was scanned for a chip, which he did not have. Didn't come as much of a surprise. The workers at the shelter actually, after hearing his story, where he was found, looking at the condition he was in, said that they believe he was intentionally dumped, and that specific spot is a common dumping area for dogs because it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, and you just go down the highway quickly after you dump them and leave. Did still stay at the shelter for a little over 2 weeks actually on stray holds. They were a bit behind getting him in the system, but he was there that whole time, and then his hold started, where they would put him out to the public and try to find an owner if he had one. He did not, no one came forward. And next, going in, this is one of the new products I just got, the Road Glazing Milk. I have used it because every time I go visit my sister, I raid her skincare closet and try out a bunch of things, and this is pretty much all I used that trip because it seemed to work well for me. So I got the mini ones to try for myself. Back to Polo's story, we had to come up with a quick plan of what to do with him. That we would foster him on our own without rescue backing and just find a home for him, but he could stay and have somewhere safe with us in the meantime. So to do that, we had to find a dog sitter first to watch him. Luckily, we knew of a transport company that we had used in the past for some of our other rescue dogs that we absolutely loved, but they only run these transports like once or twice a month. So we had to wait for Polo to be able to leave on transport, and we had to find a dog sitter that would take this unknown stray dog that we had no history on and watch him until he could leave for transport. Of course, looking back, there are different ways that we could have done it, but this is just what we did. We hopped on Rover. I know some people, that's not their favorite. Worked for us great in this situation because we found a vet tech and foster coordinator for a rescue that coordinated transport for dogs to their fosters, and she was able to help us find a transport that would leave sooner so that he didn't have to wait as long to come up to us, which was amazing. And she was a vet tech, so she had good background in all the medical things in case something was wrong. She was able to get us on heartworm prevention, flea and tick, different things like that before even coming to us, which we paid for, of course. She was really such a hero for us in all of this. I don't know where Polo would be if we hadn't found her and found someone who did such an amazing job with him and was willing to take him in. Like I said, we had no background. She's asking like, oh, is he okay with other dogs? Is he food aggressive? Is he anxious? Is he cuddly? Does he like to play? Anything. We know nothing about this dog at all. Fortunately, his dog sitter has since passed away at a very young age. It is very tragic, and I just wish she was here to keep living the wonderful life she was living. And of course, I would love for her to see all that's happened with Polo, the dog that she gave a shot. Next, this road barrier butter, which is like a really thick, oops, not that thick, really thick moisturizer. So she watched Polo for a couple weeks, and then Polo was sent on transport to come to us. Generally speaking, that's how we ended up with our boy, Polo. There may be bits and pieces that I missed or jumbled together because it's probably after midnight now, so I'm delirious. My eyes probably don't even look open, but that's okay. But I hope this helped you to get to know us a little bit more and let me know which dog story you want to hear next. They're not all necessarily as crazy as Polo's. Polo's the only one that I personally rescued, like I found him. But the other ones have some good stories too, so I'd be happy to share those. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us on our journey. I'm going to head straight to bed, but thanks so much for watching.